Yes, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, and welcome to the first review of 2020 here on Retro Spectrum. And we're going to pick up pretty much where I left off just before Christmas. Those of you who will have been watching will remember that in a blatant let's do what SEO says because everybody's looking for information on Star Wars, I decided to review Don't Mark Star Wars, which was that lovely recreation of the arcade game. And posted it, thoroughly remember as being great memories of my childhood and the arcade cabinets and how it was better in my head than the 5 frames per second mess that it turned out to be. It's not a mess. It's not a mess. It's really good, really good conversion. But one of the things that popped up is pretty much every single one of you said, yeah, it's alright, but I preferred 3D Starstrike. Fair enough then. Went out, found a copy of 3D Starstrike, have played it through once or twice just to check, of course, that everything is working. It is. So here's my review of the one that you all told me to have a look at. It has to be said. Don't say that I don't give you all what you are looking for on the channel. Now, one of the really interesting things about that is if you have a look at the names that are defining Oliver Frey did the artwork. We all know what Ollie ended up doing magazine-wise. And Ian Oliver, who is, of course, one of the famous Olivers, but not the one of the Oliver twins. So he ended up doing Starglider, Tank Duel, Star Fox, Starstrike 2, and in this case, the first Starstrike, which they call Starstrike 3D. Now, why did everybody recommend this after Star Wars? I think it's pretty clear once you start playing it. So, we'll go on Kempston. We'll go on easy because I'm a wuss. And you suddenly go, hold on, I'm in a flying spaceship. There are lots of fireballs coming at me. There are things that have got wings and a central body, but they're triangle fighters. And it's all starting to look a little bit familiar. It's almost like somebody looked at the arcade cabinets that had the word Star Wars on them and went, you know what, I think that'd be quite fun on the Spectrum. Let's give it a go. And they did. You have a deep space battle, and then you have the surface of the alien star killer base thing, with the idea that you've got gun turrets, some on the surface, some of the trench, and of course the equatorial trench is coming up. Really fast moving graphics, much more reminiscent of the speed you're getting at Darkstar, but you've got a lot here. Equatorial duck, final run. Oh, it's a trench with catwalks. My, this looks stunningly familiar as well. I now have a sneaky idea why all of you said you preferred Starstrike over Don't Mark Star Wars. First of all, it was released in 1984, so it came along much earlier in the days of the Spectrum. It moves a lot faster frame rate wise, and let's remember the Star Wars was a 128K only version. And it's definitely a little bit slicker. You've got some slight changes. You've got a laser that you can't fire all the time, and also instead of just a straight gunshot, you've got to take out the reactor cubes, open up your escape route, much like Return of the Jedi. Back into space. Boom! And away it goes. Yes, it is. We got a Star Trek The Motion Picture Warp Effect. And we're off again against another bait. It is. There are some subtle differences, so it's not the same. The first one is, of course, you're fighting triangles, not bow ties, TIE fighters. So that's, completely different. And also, you're not getting firebolts at you. You're getting a little cluster of 6 rockets that are solid circles. So this is a completely different game. I love the early 80s for conversions and stuff like this. Now, having just come off playing Star Wars, this doesn't have the same emotional impact as the Domark Star Wars title did that remembered me of the arcade stand-up cabinet and the holidays away and everything. Yet, this is the better game. And there are a couple of reasons for that. The first one is the frame rate. Okay, while it's not 25 frames per second that you'd hope for smooth animation, it's clocking in at about, what, 12 to 16, I reckon? Certainly double that of Star Wars, which is available later in the run of the Spectrum. So you've got a much smoother gameplay experience. Secondly, it's much more difficult. Even though I'm playing on easy level, you see that the shield is already down to about a third. So there's a much bigger challenge early on in the game, which gives it a lot more replayability. And when we get to somewhere like this, just the speed that you go down the trench, I believe the phrase is, if we're gonna go down here, we're gonna go down here at full speed. You worry about the tower, I'll worry about the fighters. And the trench suddenly becomes much less of a, just keep out the way, and now becomes something that's actually, after the first level, needs a lot of forethought and playing the skill. So that's got me to the reactor chamber quite quickly. Let's just burst them down, it's still open. There we go. And that's really close at the end. Prepare for hyperspace. We got top up on shields. Once we watch the green Death Star, it's not a Death Star, it's an alien base, explodes, and away you go. 3D Starstrike. Much better game. Obviously available much early in the run of Spectrum, so you couldn't do a head-to-head. Your head-to-head here was with the arcade cabinet. And again, you're thinking, I'm getting an arcade experience at home. Okay, it's not Star Wars. It doesn't have the emotional connection. But that, as a 10-year-old, would be very, very easy to just go, yeah, it's a different shape. It's still Star Wars. Which I suspect is the entire intention of the game. There's a much bigger sense of satisfaction when you actually get through each of the stages. And that sort of panicked final shot that you have to destroy the base, there's that little spinny effect. You've got your target trying to get your 15 teratops there as well, so, but with no shields, I've not got much, I'm crashing into them all the time. I love that effect, you crash into the turret, just decides to spin you around like a record. Dead or alive? Dead it is. Play the fire. Options bring you back to the menu. So, Starstrike, let's just get it straight. It's faster, is smoother, is much more challenging, but gives you much more satisfaction, gives you some explanation along the way, and is a better game. No doubt about it. It's there. To tell you what, let me just bring Star Wars back up for a second. So let's just do the direct comparison, because that's what we were looking at last time. So let's just bring that up again now. Did I have that ready to go? I did, yes. So we just reset the Spectrum and bring up Star Wars. And here's the difference. See, Star Wars has got all the logos. It's got everything there. It's also, it's got the look. Let's just take the medium away because that has the towers. But, coming back to it, yes, this is Star Wars. This is the arcade I remember. It's the colours, it's the symbology. But, taking out these fireballs, taking out these sci-fires suddenly feels clunky. Now, as I said in the review that we had just before Christmas, you do get your eye and you do get a feel of how much you need to lead, how much you need to do. You don't have the overheating laser, but look, they're just, it doesn't have that sense of just being a good game. Yeah, you're flying an X-Wing, it looks like an X-Wing, it mimics the film, and it mimics everything that you saw on Holidays and gives you that same emotional rush. Does it play well? Well, yes. But when you put it head to head, nope. Nope. Just doesn't go there. You know, I'm sitting here playing it, and even though it's a joyous game, it's lacking. And it was only available in 128K. So, you know, it takes up more space. And so it's quite a bit. So you're going to let me go in just so we can do a surface run? Yeah, we are. There we go. Let's just do a surface run so you can see the difference in the tower speeds. You know, you've got less markings on the ground to show you horizon. You know, look how sluggish. Let's just, you know, it's not an analog joystick. You're either going left or right. So, you know, sluggish around, sluggish back. Look, there's also, if we're very sneaky, look, you can just fly through the towers. It's nothing. It's just like, oh, I'll just avoid everything. Fair enough. Part of me thinks I can vaguely remember that if you just hold down the right key, you're safe. Now, that there. Okay, there's a tower there. Fair enough. I'll let you have that one. But yeah, 200. I don't need to shoot the towers. Okay, yes, if I'm going for a high score, I do need to shoot the towers. Alright, but let's face it. If you're playing this game, you're not playing this game to shoot the towers. You are playing this game because you want to blow up the Death Star and you want to get to the trench to get that shot on there. Look. There we go, we're through. One little bit at the edges because I'm not 100% focused. Use the Force. What are you putting me this? And there we go. Look, it's a solid color, which means that you're getting it over. You're really only finding top, middle, and bottom again. Same principle, but it's just sedate. It's, yeah, so easy to fly through. And yeah, I know that later on, like level 7 or 8, you get catwalks, so they go halfway, or there's a gap in the middle. And yeah, you can start shooting the fireballs to get more points again. But again, you're playing this one. You just want to blow up the Death Star. And yep, here we go. We've got the rings effect. It doesn't even have that particle effect. So yeah, it's just kind of not doing it, is it? So for everybody who said out there, I preferred 3D Starstrike. Now I've played 3D Starstrike because I didn't have this first time around. You're right. I completely agree with you. It's 3D Starstrike. It's as simple as that. For your let's go to medium level on this one, shall we? It is 3D Starstrike. Look at the difference. There's a sort of panic as you're flying around. There's far more going on. Look at this. Just the difference in the speeds that you're getting on the enemy craft. That I've got to get the fireballs, and you concentrate on the fireballs, and it's very rare that you get a chance to actually get a hit on the enemies because you're busy defending. You know, and even with that defense, I've lost what, a quarter of the shield already? Yowzers. You know, I'd like a little bit more here, sort of transition between the levels. Actually, let's just, what happens if I do nothing? Fireball. Fireball. Okay, right, so let's just hold on to the right. What happens there? I'm going to crash into that tower. Okay, yeah! Can I just keep going to the right? Nope, fireball's coming through there. Admittedly not as much as going through the center, but there's a tower that I'm going to get through there. So, I suspect if you just kept that up, you would not make make it through this section, or you would, but with vastly reduced sales, so I'm just giving up and going for the shoot, and we're in that panic. Same thing that we had at the top here. You don't have, 15 tower tops. How? Practice. It's what it needs. Okay, now we've got the catwalks. Look at the difference in speed that you've got here. You've got catwalks, there we go. Now we've got to really, really sort of look ahead as much as we can. Make sure that we don't get caught out. Now I'm just all over the shop. Yowzers. Up we go, down we go, round we go. Multicoloured fireballs that you do have to shoot. That you can just about dodge, but when you're dodging left and right, the catwalk's going. I'm at red status already. Take a moment to get the reaction chamber. There's one side, there's the other side. I don't know if I got that or not. Nope. Round we go again. Yes, you can use the force in Star Wars. Don't just hold down the fire key, just put auto fire and make sure the death of the Death Star. Can't do that here. Gotta actually fly it. Gotta be sharp. Gotta be quick. That's what makes it recommended, not the nostalgia in Star Wars, which is why we recommend the Star Wars game. It's because of the nostalgia. But here, it's the gameplay. It's the gameplay that does it every single time. If you could marry up 3D Starstrike's engine with the graphics from Star Wars and the license, you would have probably the perfect implementation, but you don't have that. So your choice is nostalgia or gameplay, and it's a spectrum, and you pretty much have to choose gameplay every single time. That's 3D Starstrike. That's recommended. Retro Spectrum, hit the follow button on Twitch, on Facebook and on YouTube. It would all be very much appreciated. I shall catch you on the next video, clip, review, whatever we end up doing. But for now, thanks for watching.